1:30 this afternoon, detectives of the Glendale Police Department arrested Jerice Hunter for the murder of her 5-year-old daughter, Jessie Shockley. The arrest was made following a grand jury indictment and arrest warrant issued earlier today on the charges of first-degree murder and child abuse. Ms. Hunter was arrested without incident at her home in Mesa. For the past 11 months, the men and women of the Glendale Police Department and our partners from local, state, and federal law enforcement worked tirelessly to accomplish 2 goals: to find Jessie and to hold the person responsible for her disappearance accountable. As you know, a few weeks ago we concluded our search of the Butterfield Station landfill. Despite exhaustive efforts of 280 officers from 13 agencies searching through 9,500 tons of trash, we did not find Jessie. So while our hopes and prayers of finding Jessie were not realized, we are confident with the indictment and arrest of Jerice Hunter today, we will achieve our second goal of securing justice for Jessie. I commend our investigative team, which includes Glendale detectives, representatives from the FBI, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, for their diligence throughout this lengthy investigation and for remaining focused on their mission. I would like to thank all of the agencies who provided people and resources from the first days of this investigation last October through the nearly 4-month search at the landfill, all of which helped us reach the point of arrest today. We are also grateful for the unwavering support of the Mayor and City Council of Glendale, as well as employees from several other City of Glendale departments. The murder of Jessie Shockley has had a profound impact on our community. Our hope is that the announcement today will allow the healing process to begin for everyone who knew Jessie, who loved Jessie, and for all those who have been touched by her story. And now I'll hand the podium over to our County Attorney, Mr. Bill Montgomery.
Well, I want to thank Chief Black, the men and women of the Glendale Police Department, other agencies in Maricopa County who assisted in this investigation, and I want to thank the FBI, and in particular on their behalf here today, Mr. Turgill. The indictment secured by the County Attorney's Office from the Maricopa County Grand Jury is count 1, child abuse, a Class 2 felony and dangerous crime against children. Count 2, first-degree murder, a Class 1 felony and dangerous crime against children. And the Class 2, the count 2, rather, involves the felony murder statutes for bringing that particular charge. 11 months ago, when Jessie went missing, a community came together in efforts to try to find her and to bring her home. Over the intervening months, the men and women of the Glendale Police Department tried to do the same thing. And then, of course, the investigation turned simply to trying to find Jessie and bring her home and to bring resolution to her disappearance and to her murder. While the indictment and the arrest itself are not evidence of guilt, and the state still must prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt to a jury of 12, it is my firm belief that with the investigation done to this point, that we've secured the appropriate charges, and this office will proceed with the sole goal of providing justice for Jessie and to bring closure to the community. At this point, I'll turn over to Mr. Turgill.
Good afternoon. Today, as on October 11th, 2011, the FBI stands shoulder to shoulder with the Glendale Police Department. The FBI provided a number of different types of assistance in this investigation since its first days. Special agents, intelligence analysts, search and canvassing assistants, our victim assistance specialists from this state and from other FBI offices, including juvenile forensic interview specialists, behavioral analysis. The FBI considers both the Glendale Police Department and the County Attorney's Office tremendous partners. We've been involved with this since the beginning, including a number of individuals, 67 of which from the FBI Phoenix office that assisted with the landfill search, including technical and personnel assistance. We just want to make sure that we are here to support Chief Black and thank you for your efforts.
Donna Rossi, CBS 5 News. Chief, can you tell us why now? What pieces came together that made you guys take this in front of the grand jury now?
This was a natural progression of the case. Working closely with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, we took everything that we had at the conclusion of the landfill, which was important that we conclude the search of the landfill. We've been working with them since that day of the end of the search, and that's how we reached the point that we did today, where the grand jury heard the evidence and issued an indictment and a warrant.
Can you say anything about the witness who took Jerice Hunter to Tempe the day you believe the body was disclosed?
I can't add any information to that, no.
Chief Kevin Kennedy, Channel 12, what can you tell us about that evidence that you presented to the grand jury that essentially got us to where we are today?
What we have is the entire body of the investigation from October 11th to date. It's a very lengthy investigation, very thorough investigation by our detectives, our partner agencies, and the FBI. All of that evidence was presented today. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to share detail about that in this venue. That's for trial.
So there is nothing per se that is really new within the last week or month. It is just a collection of evidence over the last 11 months, to be clear?
That's correct.
Mr. Montgomery, Christopher Sign from ABC 15. Talk about the difficulty, or maybe lack of difficulty in your mind, of prosecuting this case without a body.
Sure, where difficulties that are presented to a prosecution without having the body of a homicide victim are not minuscule, but my office has successfully prosecuted homicide cases over the last couple of years where the victim's body was never found. And certainly in this particular instance, with the totality of the evidence developed over the course of the investigation and with the quality of the evidence that was obtained, not only securing an indictment, also led us to believe that there was a reasonable likelihood of conviction at this point in order for us to be able to move forward. Obviously, the lack of finding Jesse's body did not prove an impediment. And this was something that we talked about several times over the last 6 months, certainly, whether or not, if the search of the landfill proved unsuccessful in finding Jesse, if that would preclude a prosecution. Today you have your answer.
Jared Dillingham, Channel 3. Can you tell us the significance of the testimony from Jerice's other children, how important that was in securing this?
With respect to the importance or critical nature of any particular witness's testimony, I hope you'll respect the fact that we do not want to prejudice the defendant in any way. She's entitled to a fair trial. And so as far as characterizing the quality or nature of evidence, I'm going to leave that for the courtroom.
Mr. Turgill, the FBI did an extensive search of her Glendale home that many of us can recall seeing there in the hazmat suits. You might remember those images. What did those searches yield from an FBI investigative standpoint for this case?
As Mr. Montgomery said, the information contained in the results of those search warrants is part of the case in chief, and I'm not able to speak to that.
Are there going to be any more searches at the old house or maybe her new residence in Mesa?
I don't have any information that further search warrants have been drawn or that there's anything to be gained by that.
Chief, Sandra with KPAR. Are you guys planning on continuing the search for her remains at all in any way, shape, or form?
And I'm supposed to be repeating questions, so I apologize, I haven't been doing that. The question is, are we going to continue the search? We believe that Jessie is at her final resting place at the Butterfield Station landfill. There's nothing to be gained by continuing to search that. We have searched the most likely area and did not have success. Our efforts were exhaustive. They were thorough, and it was a very hard thing for us to leave there, but the volume of the trash that's out there would not suggest that we could be successful by any further search.
Can you speak to the circumstances of her arrest today, what that was like?
All I can say is that her arrest was without incident. It was very, very peaceful, very appropriate. Our detectives were out there and took her into custody, and she submitted.
Chief, why did we wait so so long to go to a grand jury?
And the question is, why did we wait to go to the grand jury? We needed to complete the search of the landfill. That was very important. And once that was completed, we began our close work with the county attorney's office to prepare for this day. As I said, there's a lot of evidence. This is a lengthy case, a lengthy investigation. For 11 months, we've been gathering information. So the preparation took the time that it took, and I think the outcome speaks for itself.
And
One more question, please. One more question.
Information has been gathered over the past 4 months while this land search was going on?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Information has been gathered over the past 3-4 months as this landfill search was going on, Chief?
I can't speak to that specifically.
And the last question.
Barbara, the Arizona News Radio, when she was arrested, has she made any admissions or given any indication as to her innocence or guilt?
I don't have that information, so I can't speak to that.
Thank you very much.